In the questions of issue of shares, that is from this chapter, you may also be asked apart from journal entries to prepare any ledger account and also cash book. Balance sheet also may be asked, but that I have already explained you as how to make balance sheet, how to present data of issue of shares in balance sheet, right? So what we are left with in this chapter now is only preparation of ledger accounts and cash book, right? इसके बाद after this, our this chapter would be over. Am I clear? Issue of shares for consideration other than cash that we have already seen, right? Ledger account, to make ledger account, we need to understand how to do posting, and that you have already learned in class 11th. From journal entries, how to do posting in ledger that you know, right? But there may be some complex entries like this, where we have more than one debit and more than one credit. So how to do posting of these entries that I'm explaining you now. Am I clear? Since it's a complex entry, we need to split it into two or three entries so that it becomes easy for us to post it in ledger. You may be asked to prepare any account, guys. It may be share capital account, call scenarios account, share forfeiture account, securities premium account, share allotment account, any account. Mark this title, everyone. Note down this much, everyone. This is of issue of shares. This one. The entries in which we have more than one credit can be only two. One share forfeiture entry, another receipt of money for any of the calls where we have both calls in arrears as well as calls in advance. If you remember, we have seen those entries initially when I started with this chapter and I explained you about calls in arrears and calls in advance. There we have seen such entries where bank account gets debited, right? Calls in advance account also gets debited. That is adjustment of money which we received earlier. Respective call account, that is share allotment, first call or final call account gets created, and calls in advance account again gets created for the money that we have received in advance at the time of this respective call for any of the further calls. Instead of calls in advance, we may also have calls in arrears here for the amount of the call whose or of which precedently we are passing here, but the money is not received from some shareholders. For that, we debit calls and arrears account here, right? So let's first understand how to post this entry, or sorry, how to split this entry and then to post it. So I have taken this entry from the previous example. Now, guys, what we have done in this entry is we have forfeited 10,000 shares, right? Where we demanded the entire face value. That is why we have taken 10,000 into 10. This we have debited for what? For the amount of premium which we have not received. This we have created for what? For the total amount which we demanded but not received. And this we have created for what? For the total amount that we have, sorry, right, or the amount that we have adjusted towards face value out of total amount received. So this share forfeiture account, the 70,000 actually is of what? Is of face value or is of premium? Face value. And in this 45,000, what do we have or what we may have? We may have both, very right, face value and premium. So this entry can be split into one in which we do not have premium at all and the other in which we have premium. Am I clear? The above entry can be split into the following two. I'm removing premium from here. So now here we have capital, here also we have capital. In call scenarios, we have, I think, both premium and face value, that is capital. Correct? And what was that? What was the amount? We have not received on allotment premium of 15,000. And that only we have debited to call scenarios here. So this 15,000 of allotment and this 30,000 of first call, sorry, call we have not received. This 30,000 does not have any premium. Why? Because in call there was no premium. And these two amounts, 15 plus 30, that is what we debited to call scenarios. So at the time of forfeiture, we created it to call scenarios account with 45. It means in this 45, we have only 30,000 of face value, and that is what we will take here. So here I'm taking only face value of 30,000. This would be 30 plus 70, that is 1 lakh. In the second entry, we will take premium. What was the premium amount which we demanded but not received is 15,000, and we will credit call scenarios account with 15,000 for the amount of premium which we did not receive, and that is why we debited it to call scenarios. And now we are creating it. So this entry has been split into these two. And now it is easy for us to post these two entries in any of the accounts involved in these two entries. Am I clear, guys, or not? In case we are asked to prepare share capital account, then on the debit side of share capital account, we will write two call scenarios, two for share forfeiture account with their respective amounts, 30 and 70, right? In case we are asked to prepare call scenarios account, then on the credit side of call scenarios account, we will write securities premium with 15,000 and share capital with 30,000. Very right. With the amount of call scenarios. Correct or not, guys? This was our example number 16. Do not write anything, guys. The very first entry. दृष्टि कैसे पोस्ट करेंगे? आपके पास पहला वाला एग्जांपल है आपके रजिस्टर में. शेयर कैपिटल अकाउंट में सबसे पहले पोस्टिंग कैसे करेंगे? क्या लिखूं मैं और कहाँ लिखूं? व्हाट शुड आई राइट एंड वेयर? 16 को यूज करके बताना है हमें. एग्जांपल 16 को. क्यों? आप लोग अब भी नहीं थे? Very first, we are using share capital account here in the second entry. So on the credit side of share capital account, we will write buy share application account with rupees 10 lakhs. So here we will write buy share application account with rupees 10 lakhs. Clear, guys, or not? After second entry, we have used share capital account, and our third entry on the credit side of share capital account, we will write buy share allotment with rupees 4 lakhs.
Sir,
हाँ सार्थक.
your screen is not working.
I have already shared it, Sarthak. I am re-sharing it. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
सर तब से क्वेश्चन ही दिख रहा था तब से कुछ आप बता रहे तो कुछ नहीं दिख रहा था.
Uh, my mistake. Maybe I was sharing the that assignment, and that is why
Yes,
you
sir.
were. You had only that in front of you, right?
Yes, sir.
So whatsoever I explained here as how to split this entry into two. For that, I am recording this lecture. I will send you the link of that. Right,
Okay, sir.
Sarthak?
Yes, sir.
Okay, after this third entry, what we have next, guys, where we have share capital is fifth entry. So on the credit side of share capital, we'll write buy share call account with rupees 6 lakhs. After this, we have share capital involved here, and this we have split into two, 1 and 2, in which in 1 only we have share capital. So on the debit side of share capital, we'll write 2 calls and arrears and 2 share forfeiture account. With their respective amounts, that is 30,000 and 70,000. And after this forfeiture entry, share capital is involved here. So on the credit side of share capital, we'll write buy a bank and buy share forfeiture account with their respective amounts. That is with 48,000 and 12,000. That's it. Right after this entry, share capital is involved nowhere. So now we will close share capital account, and for this we need to take total of the credit side. Why? Because credit side total is higher than the debit side total, and that is 20 lakh 60,000. The same total will write on the debit side. From this we will subtract the debit side total, that is 1 lakh, and this is how we will get 1960 as the balance of share capital account, which is a credit balance. Obviously, share capital being liability should have credit balance only. Am I clear? What is the last thing that you have in your registers? Sarthak, you attended the previous class, the online class which I took, right? Previous was online
Yes,
class.
sir.
You attended that, right? Sarthak?
Yes, sir. I attended.
Manya, did you attend that class? What is the last thing
Sir,
that you have? Question? Okay, you have this question, right? Okay. Take a screenshot from here. Mahi, you have this question? You do not have question even. Take the screenshot from here. Taken, Mahi? Take this. Done, Avi? Take this. This also. This. How much it took to write this solution? Example 16. Leave 3 pages, guys, and start writing it from here. From here. Sarthak, to understand this, you watch the video. I will share the link with you. In case you do not understand, tell me. I will explain it to you again.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Now, guys, this balance only will reflect in on the face of balance sheet in share capital, right? Have you made this all share capital account? Manya Sarthak, have you made this?
Yes, sir.
Guys, this question, exercise 15, you all have to do before tomorrow's class. Am I clear? Where you have to pass journal entries and you have to prepare share for future account. Do not forget, everyone. Exercise 15 you have to do means you have to do the entire assignment, but first you should start with exercise 15. Right? It's good to clarify it, especially to Manvi. Now, guys, since even though we are preparing the share capital account, there won't be any change in our journal entries. Journal entries would be same. One thing. Secondly, what does this mean actually is that your journal entries would be as we made them here. The split part that I have explained you today is only for your information purpose. This should not be even part of your working notes. There's a split you should do in rough, and then you should prepare share capital account or any other account. Am I clear? Mark this title: Preparation of cash book along with journal entries. So, guys, when you are asked to prepare cash book also apart from journal entries, then you have to prepare cash book. You have learned cash book in class 11th, where you have learned double or triple column cash book, in which you have both cash column and bank column, both the sides of the cash book. When you are asked to prepare cash book here, you should make cash book with only bank column. One thing, right? Now, you also must be remembering that when we make cash book, which is a subsidiary book, then those entries which go to cash book, those transactions which go to cash book, for that we do not pass journal entries at all. Do you remember this or not? The transactions which are to be recorded in any subsidiary book, those transactions are not recorded in journal book at all. So in such questions where you are asked to prepare cash book along with journal entries, while passing journal entries, you should be careful of this. That is, while passing journal entries, you should not pass journal entries in which bank account is involved. Have you understood what I said? How to do that? Let's understand this with an example. First, let me write what I just told. Have you all marked this title?
Yes, sir.
Note down this much, guys, all fast. Bank part should not be journalized or should not be recorded in journal. Please add this also. Receipt side means debit side and payment side means credit side. So this was our example 17, now example 18. Done, guys, all? Noted down this much, right? Sarthak Manya.
Yes, sir.
This was our example 16. We pass the journal entries here. I'm copying the journal entries from here. The first journal entry would not be passed because in this we have bank involved and there is only bank, right? So this would not be passed. This would be our first entry. Correct, guys? But in this also bank is involved. It doesn't mean that the entire entry would not be passed. Only bank part would not be passed. How much it is? 1 lakh. So that would be removed from here. And this 1 lakh is part of share application. So 1 lakh would be removed from share application also. So this will become 15 lakhs. 1 lakh was for how many shares? 20,000 shares, right? So now it would be 3 lakh shares at the rate of rupees 5. There wouldn't be any change in this entry. This would be entry number 2 now, in which bank is not involved. Have you understood Manya, Sarthak and all what I did here? Sarthak, Manya, I'm asking you.
Sure.
Sarthak, have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
This is entry number 3, in which we have again bank account involved, 2,85,000. This would be removed from here, and 285 will also go off from share allotment, right? So now we will be left with only call scenarios to share allotment with 15,000. I hope guys you are understanding this. Yes or no? Drishti? Drishti never says no. Okay. Entry number 4 will be Same, entry number 6. Now it would be 5. From here again we will remove bank with 570, and with that now the entry would be calls in arrears account debit to share capital with 5,70,000. Sorry, 30,000. For how many shares it was? 10,000 shares, right? At the rate of rupees 3 per share. Here we do not have bank account involved, so this will remain intact. Entry number 6. This is entry number 7. Again we have bank involved here. So we will remove this bank with 48,000 rupees, and the 48,000 will also go off from here from share capital. So now we will be left with share forfeiture to share capital account with rupees 12,000. Am I clear, guys? Now this is entry number 8. Last entry in which bank account is not involved, so it will remain as it is. And now we will prepare cash book. Date particulars, then LF. LF, not JF. Here we have LF. Because cash book itself is a specialized journal. So its reference will go to respective ledger account, right? With bank column only. This is how we should mark it, right? Now the very first entry was bank account debit to share application account. So in cash book on the debit side we will write to share application account. For how many shares we received the application and what was the amount? 16 lakhs, right? Now here the entry which we have to record in cash book is share application account debit to bank account with rupees 1 lakh. So on the credit side of bank, we will write on the credit side of cash book, we will write buy share application account with rupees 1 lakh. Am I clear, guys, or not? Now here, bank account debit to share allotment with rupees 2,85,000. So on the debit side of cash book, we will write to share allotment with rupees 285. Here, bank account debit to share allotment account. Okay, this we have done. Then bank account debit to share call account with rupees 5,70,000. Correct? After this, now bank account is involved here. So here it is bank account debit to share capital with rupees 48. So on the debit side of cash book will write to share capital with rupees 48,000. And after this, we do not have any entry in which bank account is involved. This is how we are done with, guys, cash book. At the end of which we will balance it. Debit side or asset side is more than the payment side. So we'll take the total of debit side, and that is 18 and 23, and this is 155 and 155 and 2 lakh 3. That is 25 lakh 3,000. Minus 1 lakh, that is 24 lakh 3,000. This balance will go where? This balance, it will go in balance sheet in asset side under current assets under cash and cash equivalents, right? And this balance is what? Debit or credit? Debit balance. Am I clear, guys, or not? Sarthak Mane, have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Start noting it down from here, guys. From here. And we Sarthak, Manya, and all, guys. Wait, hold on. Do not note down this. I am otherwise also going to share the link of this video today itself in our group. Watch that carefully and note down everything in your register. Since I'm in little hurry today, that is why I cannot continue now. So I'm ending the meeting.